single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hello, it's tomorrow again. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you have not already subscribed. And for those of you who are new to this channel, I just wanted to take a few seconds to welcome you. I wanted to talk to you guys today about toddlers and zodiac signs. Because toddlers can be very lovable, sweet, very lovable, but they can be frustrating. And sometimes the reason that they can be frustrating is because you are frustrating them. Here's what I mean. Let's start with the water signs. That would be Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. If you have a toddler that's born under either of these three signs, I'm going to give you guys a little hint how to make things a little less frustrating for the two of you. If you have a child who's Pisces, for example, they are tinkerers. They love to tinker with things. They love working with their hands, and they will continue to have that love throughout their life. Now, if you have a child who's born in the sign of Scorpio, we all know that Scorpios are very passionate about everything that they do. So you have to allow your little Scorpio toddler to express themselves. And sometimes they have a lot of passion in their anger. And you just have to step back and kind of let them get it out of their system. Now, if you have a child who's about 2 or 3 years old, or even 4, and they are born under the sign of Cancer. That's another water sign. Cancers can be really tricky. They love to express their emotions, but if you kind of betray their trust, they're gonna back up, and then they may come forward again and then back up again. Cancers don't play that because they're kind of on the wishy-washy side. I mean, they just are. They're really connected to the moon in a different kind of way than what other signs are. So if you have a child who's born in the sign of Cancer, you're gonna have to expect and put up with some probably more temper tantrums than you would the next kid. They have a way of expressing themselves that's very unique. They can be up one day and down the next. Sometimes they could enjoy playing with this toy, and then the next hour they don't want anything to do with the toy. That's just how they are. Now, there's always an exception to every single rule. This video is done in so many ways, sort of tongue-in-cheek. It's a light-hearted look at how you can sort of incorporate the child's birth sign with kind of making your life a little bit more in sync with the toddler, so that the toddler can have a less frustrating toddlerhood. Now, the next set of signs I'd like to talk about would be the earth signs. Now, the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Now, these three signs, the one thing that they have in common, they are, of course, as I just mentioned, they are earth signs. So they would appreciate things from the earth. They love to work with their hands, as far as, this may be a child that you could supervise them playing with, maybe some sort of Play-Doh, make sure that they're supervised. This is a child, and I don't know about a 2-year-old, maybe a 4-year-old, someone that's 2 years old, something that would be more age appropriate, where they can kind of play with the earth. I think they appreciate those things, and they always will their entire lives. Those types of children usually will grow up to express themselves that way. Now, if you have a child who's born in the sign of Capricorn, let me give you one kind of hint. When they're having a temper tantrum, kind of step back, step toward them, look them straight in the eye like you're totally confused by what is wrong with them. Now, a Capricorn will usually kind of mimic what you just did and not quite understand why you did it, and they'll be so distracted, voila, end of temper tantrum. Try it and let me know. Now, another sign I wanted to talk to you guys about would be air signs. Now that would be someone who's born under the sign of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Those signs love to communicate. They love to talk. They love to think that you're listening to them. And probably one of the biggest talkers would be Gemini and Aquarius. Libras enjoy a good conversation too, but they're probably more apt to listen as well as talk because they have to be balanced. It's just a balanced sign. If you throw them off balance, you're going to have some chaos. And that even goes into adulthood. Now, I also wanted to talk to you guys about fire signs. That's Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is probably, if you could say a sign was lucky, Sagittarians, there's something about I don't know what it is, but things always line up for them. Same with Capricorn. Now, there's some Capricorn people who, and now I'm going back, I'm sorry, I'm digressing. I'm going back to the Capricorn child because the Capricorn child is very similar to the Sagittarius child. A lot of times you will find them getting themselves out of situations that someone else may have been stuck for a longer time. They just have that way of maneuvering through situations. Now, I think I've covered all the signs. I've covered fire signs, earth signs, air signs, and water signs. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a clue when you have, sorry, when you have a toddler and you're in a grocery store. For some reason, no matter what the toddler's sign is, if they're in a grocery store and you're at the checkout counter, they love to pick that time in particular to throw a tantrum. It could be partly because they get more attention. It could be partly because they didn't get what they wanted. Imagine being a toddler and you're sitting in a grocery cart and there's something in particular that you see on the shelf. You can't reach it. You can't climb out of the cart and get it, although you've tried to, but that didn't work. So finally you're at the checkout counter and you're frustrated. 9 out of 10 times, that's what's going on with your toddler when they're at the checkout and they start spazzing out. So what you do is you come up with a plan A, a plan B, or even a plan C before you even get to the store. If you have to take a toddler to the store with you, you have to understand that they are very aware of what's going on. They know that there's food in that store. They're like little mice. They know. They're not stupid. They know these things, especially if you're going to the same store over and over again. So try to learn to listen, to observe, to kind of look out for patterns and see if you can kind of be armed ahead of time, how to sort of combat this. Now, I can't sit here and give you the answers. Obviously, you know your toddler way better than I do. So each toddler, each 2, 3, 4, even 5-year-old has their own set of personalities. But sometimes looking into their zodiac sign, even reading their little horoscopes, it can give you a little bit of an edge how to deal with that child. For example, if you have a child who is, say, Gemini. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a little experiment. The next time, if your child is a Gemini, for example, look at their fingers, especially their thumbs. Geminis, there's something about those little fingers and their inquisitive mind that is really endearing. They are the one sign that truly, truly believes that they can outsmart anyone. And usually they can, because they use charm and they use the brilliant mind that they have to kind of maneuver themselves throughout life. It's just a Gemini thing. Now, if you have a child who's born under the sign of Scorpio, Scorpios have passion. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You just have to understand that. Now, I I would advise you guys, especially teachers who have an array of zodiac signs in front of them in the classroom, to use it to your advantage. If there's a way that you can tell what each student's sign is, kind of approach it that way. Maybe try it out for a day or two and see what results that you get. Now, keep in mind that nothing is really truly fixed. There's all sort of variations of personalities, but I'll betcha if you take into account each child's zodiac sign, you'll get a better result. Now, one more thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. When your child tells you that something is wrong, in the sense of they've seen a ghost, they've seen a monster, especially this time of the year. You know, Halloween's right around the corner. And sometimes it's easy to be very dismissive and say, oh, they're just something they've seen on TV. Oh, it's nothing. It's always something. Children have a closer connection to ground zero than we do, intently. And don't be frustrated when you don't understand what a 2-year-old is saying. Take the time, take the effort to listen and to look into their eyes and to kind of watch the way they gesture, watch what they're pointing to, because they're telling you something. I can remember when I was 2 years old, I actually remember being frustrated, you know, wanting something in particular, and no one was really taking me serious because they didn't understand what the heck I was talking about. But I knew what I was talking about. So even though toddlers are cuddly and sweet and adorable, keep in mind that each toddler has their own personality, their own sets of needs and wants. Make sure that you're staying in tune to what that toddler is expressing to you. I hope this video's helped, even though it was really done sort of tongue-in-cheek, not anything where you should be basing your life off of or raising your children off of. It really was done for entertainment purposes. But even with entertainment purposes, I hope I've helped you guys. Wishing you guys the best of the best. Enjoy your toddlers, enjoy your teenagers, enjoy the elderly people around you, and everyone else in between. I'm wishing you guys the best of the best. Thank you. Mwah.